Hey, welcome to episode number 2 of the Supra Alchemist. I don't know why I'm smiling so much. It's not funny or anything, but I guess I'm just enthusiastic. Here we go. I'm going to show you all where I'm going to practice my alchemy. And it's been a dream of mine since I was probably about 18, 19, something like that, when I first met my wife, girlfriend at the time. But I had a 1993 Honda Prelude, and her father let me borrow his garage for like 8 months. I think I started it in March, and I finished it. I finished it on the day of the Olympics, whenever that was, whenever the Summer Olympics started. I'll never forget it. But I put a little turbo kit together, and modified it pretty extensively compared to some cars. Wasn't just a intake, headers, and exhaust. That's pretty typical of what some people say. But yeah, man, I did quite a bit to it. I was pretty proud of it. I was pretty proud of the work that I did to it. And I'd never felt more fulfilled. It was like the first time that I felt like I had, started something and completed it, and it was extremely fulfilling, extremely. So anyway, I want to replicate that same thing. I keep looking at the phone. There you are. I want to replicate that by fixing this 1989 Toyota Supra. I bought it probably, I'm guessing, I guess probably going on about 3 years ago now. And, I might, once I get more skilled at making these videos, I'll put in some pictures or whatnot. But it was a full vehicle. It didn't run. It had a bad motor, bad engine. Had the stock engine in it. It's called a 7M GTE. Some people may know about that. Piece of shit engine. Has really bad head gasket problems. But what I have for it is this one JZ over here sitting on the ground collecting dust because I got sloppy and started veering from the path and quit listening to what the universe was telling me. But I've done quite a bit to this thing. There's pictures on my Facebook. If you care to check that out, I think I made my profile public so that you might be able to check it out. Yeah, I've done quite a bit to it. I've neglected it just because I made excuses. I started believing the lie that average people believe, and that's you can't make it to your destiny. There's going to be roadblocks and this and that, and you won't make it. So you might as well just give up. But not anymore. Not this guy. No. At least I don't plan on it. I prayed this morning to God, and I asked him to lead my heart. If you read the book, The Alchemist, I asked him to lead my heart down the path of fulfillment. And I surrendered myself to him. And I just asked him to guide my heart to make the right decisions, and that I'll make it to my destiny. If I do that, I know it will. That's just the way that it works. I believe the universe has some type of formula to it. And if you want to go mathematics on it, and if you act out that formula, you act it out, it'll happen for you. I recently had started jiu-jitsu, and there's a lot of things that I've been trying. I started reading the Bible to try and understand God and how to be a better human and whatnot and all that business. And I started to veer from the path. I started to think, okay, well, I'll go to church and I'll be a Christian. That's the path of fulfillment. No, I'm in church dreaming about this car and modifying it and making it into what I've dreamed it to be. And I was in jiu-jitsu class and I'm dreaming about this. I'm dreaming about the day that I finish it and I'm roasting the tires on it because I still got the stock tires and stuff. The day that I get it running, I'm going to take it to a parking lot and I'm going to destroy these tires because that'll be my celebration. That'll be my, hell yeah, motherfucker, I did it. And it's, those are the things that I dream about. I dream about pulling into work and, some of my buddies are there that, like cars and they're, I'm going to show it to them, show them what I did. And, one day, I mean, it might sound irresponsible, but, we all do silly stuff. We all do things that we shouldn't. But, one day I'll pulling out of the parking lot and, I'll have this thing sideways and like those are the things that I dream about. And when I'm by myself and I'm in my car and I'm dreaming about this thing running at full tilt and I'm making car noises and turbo flutters and dreaming about yanking on that e-brake and getting this thing sideways. Like the way that I tell people, like, I want this thing to be a grown man go-kart, a grown man go-kart. And eventually, the things that I want to do is, I believe I want to have multiple vehicles that I've built with my hands. And I'm starting to watch welding and fabrication videos. And, that's what my heart's telling me to do. 'Cause I remember when, ever since I was at that age of when I started to discover my destiny, I didn't know it then, but that was my destiny. I would watch people's welds, and these elaborate exhaust systems and these turbo manifolds. I'll come in and show you. It's from Future Fabrication. The thing's beautiful. It is literally art to me. I even put it in my house so that I could look at it and view it as art. I'm not kidding. This thing, it's heavy. I don't really want to take it down, but you can look at it. Yeah, this is a very elaborate turbo manifold. I think this thing cost me like $1,500 or something like that. Like, that's art. That's art, bro. You can't tell me it's not. Future Fabrication. And, I think I'm going to try and teach myself how to do this. Look at those welds. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to try and teach myself how to do that. I don't think that'll be a problem. It will be tough. It will be hard. But it's not impossible. It'll take a long time. That's what the whole path of the universe is about. It's the journey. It's not the end destination. It's not the end goal. It's about the journey. Like when I think about that Prelude that I built years ago, it's not about the day that I got it finished and I pulled it out of the garage. Like, yeah, that's a memory. That's a part of it. But what I really remember is dropping bolts down the engine bay and getting frustrated and, trying to come up with solutions. And, the oil return line, I messed that up. The day of the dyno, that oil return line busted. And those are the things that I remember the most. It's the struggle and the difficulties, and what I learned from them is what made me who I am today. Like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to start to appreciate the struggle. And when I'm tired and I don't necessarily feel like going to work for my dad or going to Ford and all that business, I remind myself, hey, bro, you're on the path. You're on the path of heading towards your destiny. So then all that depression and just negative thoughts kind of go away. I mean, they're chirping at me in the background, but they get quieter and quieter because I realize where I'm headed. And if I just take step after step after step, because I can get overwhelmed when I think, damn, I've got to do this for 3 years. My wife's program is 3 years long, and she's going to be in Cincinnati for 3 years. She'll be coming home, and I'll see her frequently enough. So I don't think it'll be that bad, but it's just something. It's just a next level challenge that we've never even attempted, and reminding myself that if once we're headed in that direction, that is where my ultimate fulfillment lies. It's waiting there for me. So this is a marathon, and with me, becoming, running miles, like literally the furthest that I've ran was like 15.2 miles or whatnot. But on a very frequent basis, I'm running 10 miles, and I'm learning that you just, at some point when you get tired and you feel like giving up, just take another step, and then another step, and then another step, and you'll realize, oh, well, that step, I made that step, and eventually you've taken another 1,000 steps and you haven't even realized it because all you're doing is concentrating in that moment on that next step. It's hard to it was really hard for me to figure that out, because it's easy to get overwhelmed. I understand. I mean, I was there. I wanted to just give up. It was like, forget all this, man. Look how much further I gotta go. That's too much. It's just too much for me to handle. I can't do all that. But you don't have to do all that in one moment. I'm going to be doing all of that over the course of 3 years. So all I had to do is take another step, and another step, and another step. And eventually I will get there. It's patience and, being grateful for what you have. And there was I was extremely ungrateful. Like, it was a dream of mine to have this garage. And, look at it. I wanted it to be spotless and very organized, but, that's my wife's furniture for when she's moving. So we're making a collection there. But as I veered from the path, look how disastrous and chaotic my life became. And I know it's not as bad as some people's, but that's what happens when you veer from the path. You descend into chaos, and chaos is hell. Like I said in my other video, chaos is hell on earth, and you can either go to hell or you can go to heaven, and being in heaven is on the path. So I'm headed to heaven, and I'm going to realize my dreams. And I guess that's about it for today. I'll try and come up with some other stuff. But first plan, get this thing off the ground, get it back on the jack stands. I need to get it into a rolling chassis. I'm going to do that. I got to drop that front cross member. And I'm going to build the suspension from the ground up. I got the rear subframe right there. That's that thing. I'm going to build that up. And then once I get all that, I'll get all that bolted up, buttoned up, and get this thing to a rolling chassis. That way I can move it around and stuff. Because it's been like this for years. And I've wasted a lot of money not following my dream. So, time to get on the path and stay on the path. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. I hope this helps people. Remember, I do suggest read The Alchemist and try to learn the language of the universe. It's trying to speak to us. Y'all have a good day.